In the bustling city of Elmwood, where every minute seemed to count, lived a young man named Peter. His wild brown hair and rumpled clothes gave the impression of someone always in a rush, and that was true. Peter was constantly late. He worked as a delivery driver, zipping through the city in his scooter, but his inability to stick to time often caused problems. His favorite green jacket, scuffed sneakers, and hurried demeanor were well known in the neighborhood. One bright Monday morning, Peter was running late again. With a sandwich dangling from his mouth, he rushed toward his scooter. Little did he know, this day would teach him a lesson he'd never forget. Peter's boss, Mr. Hudson, a stern but fair man in his early 50s, with neatly combed gray hair and a sharp navy suit, was waiting at the delivery shop when Peter arrived. "You're late again, Peter," Mr. Hudson said angrily, folding his arms. His brown eyes narrowed, showing he was less than pleased. Peter scratched his head. "Sorry, the traffic was crazy," he mumbled. Peter looked sheepishly at Mr. Hudson while scratching his head. Mr. Hudson raised an eyebrow. "It's the same traffic every day, Peter. You've got to plan better. Customers rely on you to be on time." Mr. Hudson looked away from Peter. As Peter sped off to his first delivery, he couldn't shake the guilt from Mr. Hudson's words. He knew he was often late, but somehow he thought it didn't matter until today. His first stop was the Elmwood Bakery, where he was supposed to pick up pastries for a big corporate event. Mrs. Anderson, the bakery owner, stood at the counter, her hands on her hips. She was a tall, slender woman with short, graying hair, always impeccably dressed in a clean white apron. "Peter, you're late. I've been waiting to get these deliveries out, and now you've put me behind schedule." Mrs. Anderson looking upset over Peter's lateness. Peter grimaced, glancing at the clock. "I'm really sorry, Mrs. Anderson. I'll make it quick." Peter looking apologetic. As he loaded the pastries onto his scooter, a sinking feeling grew in his stomach. His next stop was an important one, a delivery to Mr. Bell, the head of a major tech firm. Peter knew he couldn't afford to mess this one up. When Peter finally arrived at the glass-fronted tech office, Mr. Bell, a well-groomed man in a crisp black suit with a sleek briefcase, was waiting impatiently. His sharp blue eyes glared at Peter and getting really upset. "You're 15 minutes late," Mr. Bell snapped. "Do you know how many meetings I've rescheduled because of this?" Peter stammered. "I'm so sorry, sir. It won't happen again." Mr. Bell shook his head. "Punctuality is everything in business, Peter. Time lost is money lost. I won't be using your service again if this continues." Peter's heart sank. This was a wake-up call. He realized his lateness wasn't just an inconvenience. It affected other people's lives and work. He rushed back to the delivery shop, determined to apologize to Mr. Hudson. As Peter parked his scooter and walked into the shop, he found Mr. Hudson. Taking a deep breath, Peter approached him. "Mr. Hudson, I want to apologize. I know I've been late a lot, and it's not fair to you or the customers. I promise. From now on, I'll do better." Mr. Hudson studied him for a moment, then nodded. "I appreciate that, Peter. Remember, punctuality shows respect for other people's time. Make sure your actions match your words." From that day on, Peter took punctuality seriously. He planned ahead, left earlier, and always aimed to arrive a little before expected. His deliveries became smoother, and he gained a reputation for being reliable. As the sun set over the busy city, Peter smiled, knowing he'd not only learned the value of punctuality, but also how it could shape his future. If you want to see and watch tales like this, please like and subscribe to this channel, and let us explore all the learnings that entail in each story. Till next time, my friend, don't forget, always choose to be kind.